Well, with a title like this, it just seals the deal. I gotta review this thing. So what Porno is about, it's the early 1990s. It takes place at a two-screen movie theater where the big two movies this weekend are Encino Man and A League of Their Own. And I do really like that they couldn't use the actual posters for both of these movies, so they had to make their own League of Their Own and Encino Man posters. I enjoyed that a lot. So it's a group of teenagers that work at this movie theater. And not only is the theater owner an extremely religious type, but so are a lot of the teenagers themselves. But come to find out, this movie theater has kind of a porno past. So they find this hidden room and uncover this reel of film and decide, we can't decide between Encino Man and League of Their Own, which I understand. That is a hard decision, because League of Their Own is a great movie, but sometimes you just want to watch Encino Man. So you gotta do the compromise and watch this old reel of film that we found in this dark room. And as you can tell from the title of the movie, that this is an old vintage exploitation porno film that they found. I would like to think that the discovery of the classic movie Bat Pussy happened a little something like this. It is funny when they do watch the porno, because it's less Bat Pussy and more Rights of Uranus. That was a movie I did on one of the Snob DVDs, the Unerotic Fantasies DVD. I think it's on that one. It's the one where it's about a cult, and like a lot of cults in the 70s, they're putting candles in their ass and shit. It was easy to get bored then. They needed to invent video games and cable television fast. So the porno movie that they're watching is haunted by a succubus who ends up coming out of the movie screen to try to seduce and kill each of the very prudish, sexually repressed teenagers that are working in the theater and now are trapped in this theater by the succubus. So it's a very interesting combination between, say, like Demons and Purple Rose of Cairo. If Jeff Daniels came out of Purple Rose of Cairo and was a warlock and wanted to seduce and kill Mia Farrow, it'd be a little something like this movie. So this is a movie from Fangoria, and I believe that the last Fangoria related movie that I reviewed, I think, was Satanic Panic. And I wasn't crazy about the Satanic Panic movie. Porno, on the other hand, I like this movie a lot. I had a blast with this movie. And one thing that I really, really, really dig about this, it really is the characters, because it does take its time in setting up them finding out this backstory of this movie theater, them finding the reel of film, them watching it. But they're doing this right. They're not doing it in any kind of padding way, like some of the stuff we've talked about recently, like Cry Havoc or Mermaid Isle, where they're padding it out by just having the characters walk, and eventually there might be a mermaid. In this, they are really setting up these characters to be very three-dimensional characters, and to make a lot of them likable, at least to the extent that you're enjoying spending this much time with them, and you're not rolling your eyes every time they're on screen and cringing and things like that. Like, no, not at all. You can tell they had a lot of fun in writing these characters. Whether a character exists to be primarily jokey and horny or comic relief, certainly. There's an actor in the movie named Robbie Tan who plays Heavy Metal Jeff, who is this metalhead projectionist, but also an extreme prude as well who's trying to get over his vice of smoking. This guy's great. His lines are great. His character is very fun. He steals a lot of scenes in this movie. So the movie does well with certainly jokey characters, ones that definitely have a backstory and are three-dimensional, but are also very funny. And then other characters that have a more tragic backstory, like one of the teenagers who just got out of gay conversion therapy. And there's little things that they keep finding out about this theater, where there's a whole part where they find a hidden camera and all these tapes because the owner is secretly this pervert who's recording people in the restroom. It's not, once the succubus turns up, it doesn't just become a big chase thing. It still devotes a lot of time to these characters' relationships with each other, what some of them have done to each other in the past to kind of stab each other in the back, or just the friendship that a lot of them have. And when it does get gruesome, that's another thing it takes its time on too. So we're with these characters that, again, you can tell that the writers really love the characters that they've given us here, and that the actors are having a fun time playing them. The acting is really good. The acting's really good all around too for all of these people. When it does get to the point to where something very gruesome happens, it's quite a payoff. And it's probably an hour or so into the movie. It's about a 99-minute movie, I think, somewhere around there. When something happens that has to do with exploding and blood and testicles, they don't shy away from this. The effects and the prosthetics are really good. It's really good, and it's a good payoff if you're wondering if something kind of gruesome or bloody is going to happen. The climax of the movie is very good, where it's going back and forth to these. It also gets into different realities of where, like, this succubus comes from, the movie that they're in, and how that's lining up with what we're seeing in the movie theater. Without giving a whole lot away, the climax of the movie is good. The only time where I was kind of like, was there's a shot of, like, really obvious CG blood at one point in it, which was kind of unneeded and distracting, but it was quick. It was really quick. For the most part, I was consistently entertained by this. I really liked the writing of the movie. I liked the characters. Thought it was a very well-made movie. It's a funny movie without turning into straight-up parody. Certainly there's characters that, like I said, are jokier than some others, but it doesn't go like the full snarksploitation, really. When it's funny, it does feel genuine and it feels earned, and it still keeps its more exploitation-y aspects of the movie. I highly recommend this film. This just came out this month. Do I even need to say it's available for streaming? Because if I'm reviewing it and it's new, well, that's pretty. Whereas I didn't find this movie in an old hole of exploitation reels sitting down there. Oh no, that's there's just like Doris Wishman movies down there. This movie isn't in there. I didn't break into a movie theater to see this film either. So, Porno, I give this movie an extremely high Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2. Okay, follow us on Twitter at The Cinema Snob. Subscribe to our channel at youtube.com/Stone Productions. Don't forget to click the notification bell as well. And check out our recent reviews for Valley Girl and last week's Supersized Snob episode as well. See ya.